Hey guys, welcome to Mouse Gen. Lake and Katie here again, bringing you fresh updates from the Parks and Resorts panel that just happened at D23 over in California. Lots of cool stuff going on, lots of updates from all over, but I think we can agree that Walt Disney World definitely got the cream of the crop.
Yep, they dominated the updates today. What do you want to start with?
Let's just kind of go down in order from the most recent, I guess.
Okay.
So, actually, going back to Disneyland though, news about more Marvel coming into Disney California Adventure.
Yep, Baby Groot got up on the screen at the expo and shared that specifically new Spider-Man and new Avengers related things are coming. They did not give a ton of details, just that it's going to be a new immersive experience. So we're thinking there's going to be an entire land kind of around the Mission Breakout area.
Yeah.
Which sounds
kind
awesome
of what they're
to me.
saying right now is a completely immersive superhero universe. So whether or not that means a full land, probably. They did say there were no other details as to what this would intend. They just said that the Imagineers and Marvel were working closely together to
And what
make
I'm
this
thinking,
happen.
I mean, if you've been to California Adventure, you know the areas that are a lot like kind of city themed. It gave me a very similar feel to like the street fronts in Hollywood Studios, where like the New York area was, and I could see them taking that and transforming it, because you know that the Marvel movies take place in San Francisco and New York City and things like that. So I think that's going to be awesome. Hopefully we'll get more details soon. All right, next thing, in Disney's California Adventure, they announced Paradise Pier, which is a attraction area, is going to be overhauled and become Pixar Pier. They're going to bring in things like, I believe they said something like Toy Story Midway Mania, which totally makes sense for that area. It's like a fair on a pier. And then all Pixar-related rides are going to be going in there.
Yep, basically DCA really becoming kind of a Pixar-ish land, from what they said. On top of that, John Lasseter was there, and he was very excited to announce that Cars
John
Land...
Lasseter's always excited.
Well, that's true. Anyways, he was particularly excited to announce that his baby Cars Land was going to be getting a Halloween theme for the holidays.
Yeah.
And they gave us some concept images of that, which was pretty cool.
Which, Cars Land is amazing. I've gotten to see it very briefly, and they're going to have the cars dressed up in costumes and all that. I think that's going to be great. And then, in addition, California Adventure is going to be getting the Paint the Night Parade.
Yep, Paint the Night Parade's coming back.
Right, so they're going to have keep Electrical Parade in Disneyland, the actual Disneyland park, and then California Adventure is going to be getting Paint the Night, which a lot of people were kind of upset that Paint the Night went away.
Yeah.
So now they get them back, which that'll be cool.
And California Adventure, along with the Pixar overhaul, is getting a Pixar-themed fireworks show, too.
Yeah.
They currently have kind of a lackluster fireworks show.
They have World of Color on their lake.
World of Color is cool.
Which is a nighttime show. I haven't seen it, but they don't have, their own fireworks show. So that'll be cool. Also, Fantasmic was rehabbed and is officially premiering, I think, Monday night, but they're giving soft openings of it tonight and tomorrow. And actually, the lucky people who were at D23 all got free fast passes to go see it. So we're going to be checking for some live streams of that tonight.
That'll be awesome. Cool. Coming from a couple small things from Disney Cruise Line. Well, small. I guess I wouldn't consider a new ship small.
Yes,
but
cruise ships are rather big.
They did announce that on top of the 2 that are already in progress, they are adding an additional ship.
So they will have 7 total ships in the Disney Cruise Line.
Yep. They said basically with the addition, they were almost doubling by 2023 when it's done. On top of that, they also announced that the Disney Dream would be getting a Beauty and the Beast Broadway style show,
which they said it'll be on the Disney Dream starting in November of this year, which makes me excited because I'm going to be on the Disney Dream in November of this year. So I'm super excited that I'm going to maybe see one of the first shows. So fingers crossed for that one.
They did say this is based off the live action rather than the regular movie.
And we got a sneak peek of their rehearsals of it, and I've actually been able to be a part of the orchestra of the Broadway version, not on Broadway, but an off-Broadway version of the Broadway show, and it was very reminiscent of that to me. So I think it's going to be, they might take some storyline from the live-action movie, mix it with the Broadway show, and then it looks like they've created these beautiful new puppets to play the what do they call them? The
kind of the CGI characters.
Yeah,
from the movie.
the household items. So that looks awesome.
That'll be interesting. Next update coming from Walt Disney World is we have a tentative opening for Toy Story Land. They showed us a little video kind of covering the updates. We got to see the Slinky Coaster and a little bit of video of other things kind of coming into fruition there. And they announced that they were planning on opening it in summer 2018, next summer.
So a year from now. So that's exciting, especially because Disney can be kind of slow to move on some of their construction things. So they're pushing to get it done, and I'm very excited about it.
Yep. No official date though, whether or not this would be beginning of the summer, end of summer. I think we would hope for something kind of similar to what they did with Pandora right before the peak.
If they were smart, just like you just said, before summer kicks off to just pull people in. They're having kind of a slow summer this year, so hopefully they get some more things open. The small thing they announced, which is kind of cool, and I think it opens up a lot of cool possibilities. There's going to be a new theater coming to Magic Kingdom off of Main Street. It's based on a classic turn-of-the-century theater from Kansas City, and it looks very large. And I think this is going to be really cool because, one, if it's a true theater for performances, we could get some new stage shows, which Magic Kingdom does not have a lot of.
Why we don't have like we have a couple okay shows, but like compared to the ones that Disneyland brings.
The problem is with Disneyland, you're in California, you're right near just like a wonderful
pool of
really good actors and performers. Not to say we don't have those in Florida. We do have, especially with some of the schools we have around here that have great drama programs. There's potential, but a new theater like this, I'm thinking like a Hoop-Dee-Doo style show, something, maybe a Mickey Magical Map type show from Disneyland. There's just all these options, and it's something that could change quickly over time. You know, we could get a lot of really cool things. So I'm excited for that.
I think it's about time for something
They didn't make any announcements about what's going in there, but I think it's going to be a beautiful addition.
Yep. And that is going in right off of Main Street, they said.
Yep. So
should be interesting. They don't say exactly where they're putting that, but that's the concept is pretty massive looking.
It's huge, and I'm looking to see if there's any hints, and there's really not about where it is.
Yeah.
It could either be replacing something, or there's some space on the sides where they could go in, especially as you're entering Magic Kingdom to the left, where the parades used to keep the floats. We don't have a huge. We have Festival of Fantasy, but they could play with that area. There's room back there. So we'll see where it goes. We don't really know yet. But.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. That'll be a neat addition once that's up and running.
Yep. Let's talk about the other big thing coming to Magic Kingdom while we're here. And this is huge.
I agree.
Huge. We are getting the Tron
coaster.
Tron coasters. And it has, does it say the name? The motorcycle? It's like a cycle, Tron cycle, light cycle. Tron
Light Power Run attraction.
Yeah, so Yeah, and the concept art has it next to
Oh.
Space Mountain, and it originally looks like it was going over the speedway, but it's really not. That we're taking a second look at it, it is behind Space Mountain. So there's room back there, kind of near the railroad. I'm thinking we're gonna get some. The railroad is gonna probably get shut down during construction.
See the.
It goes through.
You guys obviously can see this. But you can see actually the train in it and where the railroad cuts through it, as well as where the Autopia or the cars are right in front of it.
Yeah, and it looks like the People Mover is safe. All
Yeah,
right, that was my worry.
good.
That People Mover, it might have to shut down during construction at some point.
I don't know, it might be okay.
It's pretty far away, but
Yeah.
construction equipment, you never know. But it looks like kind of all of the existing attractions are safe.
Yeah. Another cool thing about this is going to be ready and open by Disney's 50th anniversary in 2021. I know some people are kind of like, oh, that's pushing it.
I'm skeptical because of Disney's past. Not that it couldn't be done, but that they'll actually get it done because they can be so slow moving. But
my thought on this though is like this is already technically a finished attraction.
Yeah,
they know what problems they had in the past, so they know what to avoid. So I definitely think this is easily doable.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they're copying another one, which means the plans, patents, everything they need, they have.
It's just,
and true, since they're not having to knock down something else to put it up, that there's some time saved too. So.
But
That's
yeah,
very
definitely
exciting.
a really interesting addition and a great announcement.
Sadly, no new announcement of a new nighttime parade. We were hoping for it, but that did not come.
No, actually, besides for Paint the Night, they hinted at parades. They had a little video spoof of a lady like putting a light into the electric parade, and they were like, "Oh yeah, there's parades, but we don't want to talk about that yet."
Yes, he did say yet. He did talk about how there's something coming in the future, so that's comforting.
No mention as to what and where, really.
Yeah. Which kind of makes sense to me, honestly, because with the new Happily Ever After fireworks and the amount of people that are coming out to see them and line up and get ready, that area is so crowded for much longer now.
Yeah.
They're going to have to wait for that to die down before they introduce something else new. They wouldn't do two new things at the same time. So, all right.
If we want to keep with big stuff, do we want to talk about Epcot?
Yeah, let's go to all the things in Epcot. Let's start with the little ones.
All the things in Epcot.
All the things. Little one first. No new pavilions announced, which we were kind of hoping for. Epcot has plenty of room for new pavilions, so we're hoping for new countries, but we did not hear anything. China is going to be getting a new Circle Vision show, just with updated technology and probably narration and everything.
I feel like if anyone's ever seen the show in SeaWorld, the turtle show, where it's the full 360, like everything above you, that's kind of what I imagine it being like.
A dome.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, that would be interesting. I have to go back and read more about what exactly they said.
Yeah, they basically were just like, oh, we're taking,
a new technology.
Which, it's going to be like the 360 camera type of deal again.
Yeah.
Just a little more advanced.
They confirmed that Ratatouille the ride is coming to France, but they also said that it is going into a new area kind of behind the existing pavilion. Yay, which means the France show is safe, and the bakery and the ice cream shop and all those. France is one of the most beautiful, well-stocked, I guess, pavilions as far as what's available there. So I'm glad they're not messing with other things. And I'm sure, with all guests, it's one of the most popular pavilions. So I don't think they would ruin it.
And this is a popular ride. People are excited about it. It's going to be using the zero-track system, like the one that they currently have over in Disneyland Paris. Also similar, again, to SeaWorld, if you've ever ridden their Penguin ride. I would imagine this is a little better than that, though.
Yeah. And I'm excited, too, because they are definitely, and they said this in their presentation about Epcot, they're making an effort to make it more relevant to families and, little kids. And honestly, I'm glad they're adding this ride. I know people are going to argue, say it doesn't go with Epcot's theme, but you're getting kids into these countries, you're giving them something to look forward to in addition to their parents, and almost any Disney movie, this takes place in France. This movie does. This movie talks about France and French culture. It fits. It fits so much more better than Frozen fits in Norway. It really does.
Yeah,
So,
I don't feel like it'll be as forced, especially since it doesn't take anything away from France, with it going in its own spot.
I think
like,
it only adds.
when they announced that, that's what was replacing Maelstrom, that was a big thing that people were mad about.
Yeah,
like,
Maelstrom
it took
was so
something
popular.
away from
And
that culture.
I haven't ridden the Frozen ride yet, and I think I've seen the whole ride through. I think it's a beautiful ride, but I don't think they added it the right way.
It's a cool ride.
It
It's really
cheapened
neat.
up the Norway experience to me. But
Yeah, it makes Norway. It does make Norway feel kind of lackluster. There's not as unless you're going for that ride or you're
feels like
eating
you're
at
in
Akershus. There's not a reason to go there.
it feels like you're in the Magic Kingdom.
School bread.
School bread is, oh yeah. Yeah, from the bakery forward, I'm good. But yeah, it feels like you step into the Magic Kingdom when you're on
Yeah,
there.
I would agree with that.
All right, let's go ahead and talk about the changes to Mission Space.
Yes.
The cool thing with the remodel, which will be opening soon, the green level experience, which is the less intense version of the ride, is going to have a new mission that you're going on. Instead of going to Mars, you'll be doing a mission around Earth, which this was described as soaring around the Earth.
Yeah.
So what I think they're going to do is film or create a new movie and create new motion on the ride vehicles that's kid-friendly, not as intense as the regular ride.
But a little more interesting than rocking you to sleep.
Yes, because if you have ever ridden the green version, it's the only one can ride. You're basically watching a kind of boring movie.
Yeah.
So that'll be exciting. Plus, there's going to be a new space-themed restaurant next to Mission Space.
Yes, I am excited about this. This
Which
looks
sounds
very
cool.
They said that it was essentially going to be like you were going up into space and you were having dinner in space. All the windows are essentially going to be some sort of screen technology, and you're going to be looking out, over the Earth and into space.
Yeah, so it's almost like you're in a movie theater with movie theater screens, and it's going to be scenes of space and planets, and it sounds really cool.
That'll be cool. That'll be a neat. Not that Epcot's necessarily lacking in any dining experiences by any mean, but this is definitely a unique addition to it. Like, this is something different, and it still, I feel like, embodies the Epcot kind of vibe to it.
Yeah, I agree. Alrighty.
All right. Anyways, so hitting kind of on the big Epcot ticket, Guardians of the Galaxy has been confirmed.
For Epcot, going
Yeah.
into the space where Universe of Energy currently is.
Was that officially confirmed?
I believe so. Scroll through and make sure I am not making things up. But yeah, so the tie-in, they did they know people are going to argue, why are they putting this in Epcot? How does it at all match the concept of Epcot? So the tie-in is that Peter Quill, when he was young, apparently visited Epcot at some point in his young life before he was abducted by aliens and taken to outer space. And so the Guardians are came back to Earth, to Epcot, to take us on some kind of space journey. So, sounds cool. It is, I believe, officially was that the one where they said it's an
e-ticket event,
which means it is a big E. So I am excited. I love Marvel. I love Guardians. I know people were fighting it, but I think it'll be cool.
I'm excited. I mean, I love Guardians as well. I think it'll be fun. As soon as Mission Breakout opened up, everyone kind of shut up about being sad about Tower and Terror.
I mean, not everyone, but people, I think, for the most part, agree that it is a cool ride.
Yeah.
And they did an awesome job, overlaying that existing ride and making it completely different. And I think they're basically going to have to completely scrub Universe of Energy to make this. So I think we're gonna get a good show there.
I think it'll be cool.
Yeah.
It'll definitely be neat.
Did they give us a ETA on that one? I don't believe
They
they
really
did.
didn't give us anything about the style of the ride or anything. They kind of gave us a general story. But
They
that
gave us that yes, it's coming, and here's how we're gonna fit it into the theme. And that was about it. All right. Anything else in Epcot?
Yeah, they basically announced and gave us concept art for kind of the new entrance and like main like future world overlay.
Okay. So starting from like the very front of the park.
Yep. Let me see if I can.
That's awesome. There
find the
is a
image.
lot. I mean, I don't want to call they already talked, in the past about taking out the Leave the Legacy.
I believe in the image. Leave the Legacy was gone. I'll find it.
And that would leave a huge empty open space, which would be awesome for them to do something with. So I think that's a great thing. Their future world in Epcot, I mean, it needs some work to bring it back to actually being this futuristic,
Being modern,
a peek into, a different kind of community, which I think they're trying to do. I think they're doing it a different way than they did it in the past to make it more relevant, but I still think it's going to capture the essence of Epcot and just in a new interpretation of that.
From the concept images they gave, it looked cool. It looked a little more sleek, and it looked more open too.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, you gotta be real. There's a lot of empty, unused space, or space that's not used as much as it could be right now because of these old attractions that they've taken out of Epcot and really haven't reimagined. So that'll be awesome. Epcot.
I'm excited.
They also kind of just left a blank. Changes are coming. So I think there's more than what they told us. But that's what they gave us to work with today. So do we want to move on over to Hollywood Studios, go park by park?
Yeah, I think.
Well, why don't we do
Hollywood
Animal Kingdom, where we weren't told about anything new?
Yeah. They pretty much said, oh, Pandora opened.
They kind of celebrated that they opened Pandora and said, think of how awesome Pandora is. Let's talk about Star Wars and how we're going to be even better than that.
Yeah.
And then we went to Hollywood Studios / also the Disneyland version of Star Wars. It's, I think, isn't it basically the same? We're getting the same
they're pretty much matching. They did say the Disneyland version was going to open slightly before.
Oh, yes. Disneyland, you are going to get yours before us, which makes sense because construction has been going on theirs.
Yeah,
and
they have
really have
things you can see there.
Yeah, and ours really hasn't started.
No, well, most of our construction has been focused on Toy Story Land, which we already mentioned.
Yeah. Star Wars Land looks amazing. If they said it's going to be more immersive than Pandora, everything they showed us, supports that. We'll be getting 2 new rides. A Millennium Falcon themed ride where you get to pilot the Millennium Falcon. And apparently it is a ride almost like, I don't want to say choose your own adventure, but like different outcomes based on, how you fly it. And then, your experience on the ride will, I'm assuming, be linked to your magic band, and it's going to follow you around the land. Yeah,
they mentioned like basically earning credits and stuff, or like basically becoming notorious, whether or not you did well or bad.
Yeah.
What that exactly meant, they didn't describe.
I mean, they gave this scenario, and this isn't, they didn't really give anything new about the Star Wars. I've heard this in other panels and discussions, but they said, like, let's say you did the Millennium Falcon experience and you like crashed it or did poorly with whatever you're supposed to be doing, and then you go to the cantina, the person who serves you at the cantina is going to be able to see that, like, see your name and that you did poorly, and I'm sure they'll jab at you and do something funny there. So
so that was interesting. They kind of talked a little bit too about the First Order ride that was going in there. We've seen they had the ride vehicle out at D23. It's pretty much kind of a general simulator looking ride.
4 seats by 4 seats.
Yeah.
Which makes sense if it's going to be having like motion and everything. And then they talked about some of the characters you'll see. Chewbacca was mentioned. I'm sure like with the Millennium Falcon and everything.
Rex from
Rex,
the
yeah.
original driver from Star Tours is supposed to be making a return.
Yeah, he's going to be the DJ at the Cantina restaurant,
yep.
which will be fun. And then Kylo Ren was mentioned as well with the First Order, kind of occupying this land. So it looks like it's going to be really, really cool, and I'm excited for that. Excited for Disneyland to get theirs and see how it does. So.
Yeah, kind of another interesting thing with the characters too. D23, they did have kind of droids going around interacting with people, and I was told by a cast member that the animatronic or the robot that they have in Tomorrowland is actually just testing technology for Star Wars Land.
Yeah, I have a friend who's friends with the robot in Tomorrowland, and it sounds like it's going well, and it's popular, and technology is working, so that'll be awesome. And basically, it's a roving robot you can interact with, and all this stuff. So that'll be cool. Also in Hollywood Studios, I am sad to say that the Great Movie Ride is going to be going away very soon. I believe I saw August 17th was the date that the current Great Movie Ride will be closing down to become Mickey's Runaway Railway. So this is going to be an experience where you get pulled into basically a Mickey Mouse cartoon, and you go on this adventure with Mickey and Minnie and Goofy and I'm sure a few other characters. It is going to be what they called a 2.5D experience, which is, they said it was kind of like 3D but without wearing 3D glasses. And you said it looked like it was the Pandora.
The way I pictured it is if you've ridden the river journey, they kind of have the multiple screen layers on the things you look at to create 3D images. That's kind of how I pictured that going.
Yeah.
You are basically jumping into a 2D cartoon is the theme of it. It's based off of the current style that they're doing the Mickey cartoons in.
Which is very, it's that very modern, eclectic type Mickey Mouse cartoon, which I'm not a huge fan of.
I like it.
But the technology and kind of the new ride experience does look really cool. So that'll be going into the Chinese theater. And I'm glad they're doing something that is at least like movie, TV themed. Instead of just throwing in another, movie-related, attraction. And by movie-related, I mean like kind of, Toy Story Midway Mania has nothing to do with like making of movies or something. So, hopefully it's cool. They did say this ride will have more hidden Mickeys than any other ride. And this is the first ever Mickey-themed ride, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Considering, he's the head honcho, so that'll be exciting.
They said that they were putting a lot of work into making this ride really cool.
Yeah, which, I mean...
So that will be exciting.
The scenes they showed us of kind of the technology that they've been working on, it looks amazing. So it'll be cool. I will miss Great Movie Ride very, very much.
Yeah.
So
It should definitely be a fun new attraction, though.
Yeah, I agree. And then, like we said earlier, they gave us some Toy Story Land news. It'll be opening hopefully in a year.
Yep.
That'll be a great, a great new expansion, and Hollywood Studios will finally have some breathing room.
Yeah,
and,
they are compact right now.
It will definitely open it up. So, all right, so we did... Okay, so let's talk about resorts. There's going to be a new DVC resort called Riviera.
Is it Grand Riviera?
Grand Riviera? That sounds Right, I can't find my note on that one.
It's but anyways, this resort is going in over by Caribbean Beach, where I guess originally it was hypothesized that Caribbean Beach would get a DVC expansion.
Riviera Resort.
Riviera Resort, but instead it is actually its own DVC resort. It's going to be a tower resort, and will also feature some sort of rooftop or
It's gonna be a
top-level restaurant.
Rooftop restaurant. I'm assuming maybe they'll do. I've been to a few before where it's kind of the final level is the restaurant,
Yeah.
and then above that there'll be an additional bar area that can open and close as weather allows and stuff. But it'll have a view. I'm assuming it's going to have a view of Epcot and Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, that's what they said. And they said you should be able to see the fireworks from both of those. So that'll be neat. Not really too much else given in that right now.
Oh, yeah, just, the name and where it is. The Disneyland Paris, did you already say this? They'll be getting an Art of Marvel hotel?
Nope, we did not talk about that.
Oh, okay. So, and actually, I don't believe they're getting an entire hotel. I believe their existing New York hotel is going to be getting an Art of Marvel overlay, including some, exhibits with probably, art, costumes. They're basically, redoing a wing, I think, with Marvel items, which sounds cool.
It'll be neat. I don't, it's not as cool as getting a full Marvel themed resort, but kind of, a neat addition.
Yeah, I don't know how popular those movies are in that area.
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say just because they're so like United States centric, like the actual plot of the movies. So they may do really well over there. Big thing that I think sounds amazing. I don't know if we got any kind of ETA, but there is going to be a completely immersive Star Wars resort experience coming to Walt Disney World, and it sounds just amazing. So this is going to be an experience where you check in to this Star Wars resort, and you're going to be completely thrown into the world of Star Wars. You'll be, it's almost like you're in this story and you have to play out this story as this character in the Star Wars universe, didn't they say even complete with costumes?
Yeah, so kind of between what they said and information that was already released, what it's going to be is basically some sort of 2-day package type of deal. So you go and however they check you in, but basically as soon as you step into that area, everyone's going to be heavily costumed characters, and you're jumping basically into a story rather than just going to your resort. Everything's going to be interactive, and will communicate with you, but it's supposed to be a full-on experience rather than just going to your resort and sleeping.
Yeah. Okay, so what Bob, is it Chapek? Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Chapek, he's the chairman of the Parks and Resorts. So his quote here says, you'll immediately become a citizen of the galaxy and experience all that entails, including dressing up in the proper attire. Once you leave Earth, you will discover a starship alive with characters, stories, and adventures that unfold all around you. It is 100% immersive, and the story will touch every single minute of your day, and it will culminate in a unique journey for every person who visits. So the concept art looks like very similar to how we were saying that new restaurant in Epcot will be with the video screens that are supposed to be windows, but look like you're looking out into space and stuff. The room, the concept art room, looks like you're on a spaceship.
Yeah.
It has bunks like you might see on a a ship or an RV, and looks like there's one here that looks kind of like that war room in maybe A New Hope or something.
Yeah.
So that looks amazing.
Definitely going to be interesting. Definitely something to keep our eye on as new information
Updates
emerges.
Because that's going to be a ginormous undertaking. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I don't believe they said where or when for that either.
Yeah, I don't think so. But definitely probably the biggest
resort expansion we've had in a while.
Yeah. anything else that we have not covered resort-wide?
Resort-wise, no, we covered everything resort. Another smaller thing was Walt Disney World is getting 2 more modes of transportation. The first one being the gondola system, which was rumored and then basically confirmed a couple months ago.
Called the Disney Skyline.
Yep. Basically, all the gondolas are going to be character themed, and I believe they'll take you between. Oh, here it is. Art of Animation, Pop Century, Caribbean Beach Resorts, the Disney Riviera Resort, which is going to be probably the same one as Caribbean Beach, and that'll connect you with Hollywood Studios and International Gateway at Epcot, which is the back entrance of Epcot.
Yep,
so it'll be cool. Definitely a good way to move people around, especially from 3 of their bigger resorts.
Yeah, Art, Pop, and Caribbean Beach used to rely solely on the bus systems. So that'll be a huge, a huge difference in their transportation. The other transportation option transportation update that was announced was what they're calling the minivans, as in MINNIE, Minnie Mouse. And this is basically an Uber style system.
Yeah, it's
I'm guessing
Disney basically hosted Uber system.
Yep, but they showed us, I'm assuming they're going to do the cars like this. The cars are all done up with Minnie Mouse spots. It's a point-to-point system, so I think it's just basically their internalized Uber program.
Uber taxi.
Which, you know what? I'm all for it. I think that's great.
Yeah.
People are using Uber on their property anyway, so, I think it'll work out as long as they have the proper capacity to introduce it and, a good app system for it. I think it'll be great.
Yeah, I think it could be cool. Definitely really no information on when that's coming out, and really nothing more can come out for that.
Yeah, just when it starts. So
yeah, and that's another thing that's been rumored forever.
Yeah.
But I think that about covers all our new news.
Yeah. So lots of exciting stuff. It seems like it's going to be a good year.
Yeah, I'm excited. Well, good couple of years, definitely. Yeah. But thanks for watching, guys. Definitely make sure to like and subscribe our video, and then let us know what you were most excited for or what you're kind of not so excited for.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
See you later.